He-Man and the Masters of the Universe.
I am Mike, a game reviewer that's currently broadcasting from Castle Grayskull. This is my kitty, 13, my fearless friend. Fabulous game reviewing powers were revealed to me the day I held aloft my magic game and said, "By the power of Grayskull, I have the power of He-Man." It was the first weekend of summer vacation of 1987, which means I had just turned 7 years old. After eating a bowl of Mr. T cereal while watching Saturday morning cartoons, I decided to take a ride on my BMX to see what the day would bring me. I saw some signs saying there was a yard sale 2 blocks down the street. I stopped by and at first I didn't see anything too interesting. But on the last table, they had a big box of boxed Intellivision games. I noticed that they all seemed to be games that I already had, but at the very bottom of the box was He-Man. I asked about it, and the seller told me that they wanted $2 for it. So I asked them to hold it for me and I went back to my house to look for change. I was able to find $1.50 in our living room couch, and the rest I found around our house just in, random places. I went back and bought the game and raced back home to play it. If you have seen my Beauty and the Beast for Intellivision review, you'll know that Beauty and the Beast was the first new game I ever bought with my own money that I earned, but I still consider He-Man to be the first game that I ever bought. Now, as far as what's going on in the game, I think the manual says it best. The adventure: He-Man leaps into the Wind Raider and takes off. You have 5 chances with which to fly him to the edge of the wilderness realm of Skeletor, 30 miles away. There is limited fuel for the perilous journey through swarms of fireballs. If your fuel runs low, or if you're hit by a fireball, you lose a chance. You can duck, dodge, or blast the fireballs with the bombs and cannon on board the Wind Raider, but if you use up all your chances, the chase is over. If you make the 30 miles, He-Man leaps from the Wind Raider to continue the pursuit of Skeletor on foot, through mountains, forests, and finally Castle Grayskull itself. He-Man must ward off the lightning balls, power bolts, and magic swords of Skeletor, who fights for time to cast the magic cyclone spell which can carry He-Man away. If He-Man gets to Skeletor in time, they draw their swords and duel until Skeletor runs away to fight again. But first you have to catch him. So that's it. That's how the game is played. I always start with the practice skill so I can start at the easiest level and work my way to the hardest level. The part where He-Man is riding his Wind Raider has always been easy for me. All I have to do is make sure the fireballs don't go behind you, otherwise they start going crazy and are hard to dodge. Every time you beat Skeletor at Castle Grayskull, you jump back in your Wind Raider and battle the fireballs again, but every time they add another color to the fireballs, meaning they take an extra shot to take out each level that passes. The white fireballs are for sure the most challenging fireballs to take out. While blasting the fireballs with the Wind Raider's cannon, remember to take out the Skeletors that run back and forth at the bottom of the screen with your bombs. They add bonus points and you can earn extra lives. You won't have to worry about your Wind Raider running out of gas if you do your best to keep flying to the right. Once you've completed the side-scrolling shoot-'em-up section of the game, you jump out of your Wind Raider and pursue Skeletor on foot. In the 3 stages of the action section of the game, Skeletor throws things at you that makes it harder to get to him. So you either have to use your shield to block these things, or if you're highly skilled, you run to Skeletor without using your shield, and you'll get an extra 10,000 points if you can actually pull that off. My strategy has always been to just run to the top of the screen and then power my way to Skeletor, which works great up until the hardest level, but more on that in a bit. Either way, you battle through the stuff Skeletor is throwing at you, you have a sword duel with him, chase him through the woods, have another duel with him, chase him to Castle Grayskull, have a duel with him, and then you jump back in your Wind Raider and do the shoot-'em-up phase of the game again. So here's where I always get stuck. Once you work your way to the master skill level, the shoot-'em-up phase gets pretty damn challenging. The way I get through it is to focus on the fireballs and just forget about the bonus Skeletor points. Once I get to Phase 2, that's pretty much the end of the game for me. Even though I have a ton of lives saved up, I just can't get to Skeletor no matter how hard I try. Going to the top of the screen and powering forward doesn't work. I know there's some trick to it, but I just can't figure it out. Maybe one of you can show me how it's done, because I've been playing this game for 30 years and I still can't get past it. Same thing happens every time. I try to battle through Skeletor's power bolts and lightning balls. Lightning balls. I can't get to him in time, and then I get carried away by the magic cyclone spell, and I have to repeat the master difficulty shoot 'em up phase again until I run out of lives. I clearly don't possess the power of He-Man. Regardless of all that, I believe this game to be one of the best for the console. The graphics and sounds are top notch. The controls feel great to me, but then again, I've been playing Intellivision since I was 5, and this game in particular since I was 7, so I'm sure I've developed Intellivision thumb calluses over the years. The box, the manual, the overlay art are excellent, and the comic book is an excellent addition that gives you He-Man's backstory. I'll always have nostalgia for this game. It's my favorite console made by Mattel, playing a video game representation of my favorite show at the time, while surrounded by my He-Man toys, which were also made by Mattel. Even though I didn't get to experience this game until I was 7 years old, it was still new to me at the time. Still to this day, every time I play it, it takes me back to that wonderful first day of summer vacation in 1987.